Hey, everybody. Welcome to the panel show for this week. That's Talk Habs panel show. We discuss news of the week. And this week, since the playoffs are coming up, we are going to talk about the upcoming Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs first round playoff series. It's the first time since 1979 that Montreal has played Toronto in the playoffs. And an interesting tidbit about that, which has absolutely zero bearing considering it's different eras and everything. But every time Montreal and Toronto have played in the playoffs, the winner has gone on to win the Stanley Cup. So it's an interesting tidbit. It doesn't mean anything here because it's a totally different era. It's there's a lot more teams, and it's a lot harder to win a cup and even to repeat or do anything like that. So, but it's an interesting tidbit. It was the same thing last year, I think, with Philadelphia. Every time Montreal and Philadelphia have played in the playoffs, and I'm not sure if it's the playoffs, because they hadn't only played once in the final. Every time they played, the winner of the series has gone on to win the cup. And then there was the one time where Montreal and Philadelphia played in the final, and Montreal won, of course. So we're going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens, try to compare, I guess, what we think is the differences between the two teams, where one team is better than the other, that kind of stuff. We're going to go over all the different categories that people talk about, and then we're going to talk about a few other things that are going on. With me right now is two people. One you know very well here on the channel. I'm going to introduce him first. Say hi to Shamir. Shamir, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you, Rick and chat folks?
I am doing good. Oh, speaking of chat folks, I should get in there. And by the way, hey, everybody. Hang on a second there, Peter. Hey, Daryl, Matt, Max, Hockey Kid, Zachary, Joe Habs, and Troy. Thanks, everybody that are here. Give a thumbs up if you're enjoying this, and subscribe and ring the notifications bell if you haven't yet. And now we're going to bring in Peter. Peter is a subscriber. Peter's been on a few times. And Peter is going to be in this panel. So say hi to everybody, Peter.
Hi, everyone out there. Good to
see you. All right. So I expect Jeff is going to join us. Jeff's supposed to be here. Don't know what's up with that. So, Jeff, if you're watching this, get your ass on here. You're supposed to be here. And the other regulars like Luna can't make it tonight, so Luna won't be with us. And everybody else that I invited weren't able to make it here. So we're going to talk basically about a bunch of different categories, and we're going to give our feelings on this upcoming series. In the end, we're going to give our predictions for the series, which I forgot to mark down, and it's good because then I wouldn't talk about it. So we're going to give our predictions at the end, how we think the series are going to go. And if there's anybody out there that would like to join us, let me know. I'm going to put up a banner, let you know how you do that. I want to make this into something different. Hang on a second, guys. If you'll just give me a second. So if you go and follow these instructions here that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen, if you want to join us, you can get on here and ask us a question. It'll be a little later in the show. And just send me an email. And if you have what you need, you can get on the show. And if you're regular here, you know that. All right. So let's see what is being said. And so far, hey, Bob. Bob says, hey, Rick, Shamir, Peter. Matt says 2-2. Don't know. Sorry, Matt. Don't know what 2-2 is for. What's shaking, boys? Yo, Rick. Yo, Shamir. Yo, Peter. All right. And Zachary's giving us a thumbs up. All right. So let's get right into what we're doing here. So I got to get over here. And I'm going to say, let's talk about – first I wanted to show everybody this. Let me take off – hang on. I got to take off Zachary's comment because I'm an idiot. And that's what happens. What does a Leaf fan do after Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup? He turns off his Xbox and goes to bed. I thought that was pretty cool. So I got that. I thought that was pretty cool. How do I get rid of that now?
Oh, I think that 2-2 that somebody posted was Bruins Capitals 2-2.
That's
20 in the second.
2-2 Bruins Capitals. I get it. Let's see. I wanted to put up something else. All right, so let's get to the subject matter at hand. Let's talk about offense. And I'm not sure if I'm spelling that right because you can spell it with a C or you can spell it with an S. Apparently, I don't know.
The American way, that is.
I think that's the American way, and the Canadian way or British way is with a C. Am I right?
Yeah,
So since I'm a dual citizen, that's the American way. Awesome.
There you go.
So let's talk about their offense. It's clear, I think, to anybody, Toronto has a more potent offense than Montreal, but I don't know if it's an all-around more potent offense. So what do you guys think about how would you compare the two offenses? I'm going to throw this to, since Peter's first appearance on the panel, I'm going to throw this to Peter first.
How would I compare the two?
Well,
we can't run. Well, we definitely can't run and gun like Toronto can. We're much more conservative offense. In the beginning of the season, I noticed that Montreal started out with a very
run and gun kind of. You're right.
Yeah, and I was really digging it because it's not something you see very often. So we've had talks between the three of us here and whatnot, and that also points towards maybe Bergevin having his head on the hand on the offense. Whoa, slow it down a bit. We don't want to, obliterate the teams here. And I don't know. And then Toronto, we can't play that game against Toronto. We really can't.
No,
if we run and gun with them, they'll kill us.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, they've got to play a balance. So you think they have to basically get their offense like attacking their mistakes? And
I think we got to feed off their mistakes. Cause turnovers.
Right, but that's the type of offense Montreal runs, right? Rush offense, transition game offense, right?
They do. What I would also like to see is, I can't remember, was it Deneau that shut down McDavid?
Yeah.
Every time we played Edmonton?
Yeah.
And I would like to see Deneau take on that flavor against Toronto. And just whenever Matthews is out there, somebody needs to shadow him. Somebody needs to be on the ice that can play my style of game, and that is finish the check on the little boy too. Well, he's not really that little. What is he? 6'2", 220?
He's a big boy, 6'3" or something. He's a big boy. No, you've got to hit him. You got to get him off his game.
Get him off his game. Right.
Talk to him, hit him, push him, bump him, whatever you got to do.
Same thing with Marno.
Yeah.
And I like to call Marner Morano, but
Shamir, what do you think of that?
I really think that the Habs just obviously need to find that spark that they had in the first 10 games of the season, because after that, it just...
It's unrealistic, though. It's a bit...
Well...
Don't you find, though, that's a bit unrealistic? I mean, sorry, I talked over you, but don't you find that's a bit unrealistic that they were playing over their head? Not really their style. They don't have that elite goal scorer that can keep that style up. I mean, I don't see them getting back to that as being an option, really.
Sorry. Well, even if they don't get exactly to that level, they certainly need to, turn it up a notch compared to what we saw, when they were, really shitting the bed a lot during certain times of the season. That goes without saying. But yeah, Toronto, they do have the offensive firepower right now. Whether it shows up in the playoffs, fingers crossed that it turns out to be like a Tampa Bay 2019 kind of scenario where,
right,
we just kind of hit it to them and they just aren't able to recover in time. That I'm really hoping for that, but I'll save that for the prediction part of the show in terms of the series.
Yeah, I think, Peter, we were talking, I guess, before we came on here, right, that they can't play that game with Toronto. If they try to play the run and gun game with Toronto, they're going to pay the price, because when they're running and gunning and they lose the puck, Toronto's going to be putting the puck in the net.
They've got goaltending. They've got goaltending, and they've got a good mobile defense.
Yeah. So, yeah, they can't play that game. They've got to play their own game if they can. And I think the physical play is going to be important in throwing Toronto's offense maybe off a bit. Like their big guns off.
Yeah.
They're going to need to do that.
I think, I also think that, I mentioned this before, Montreal has this little habit of trying to do short, quick little passes and try to gain the zone that way. And I don't really feel that that's working. So we need to kind of throw caution to the wind there and start actually spreading the teams out, spreading the players out, and getting the goaltender moving. We need to get Toronto's goaltender moving and start generating shots from different odd angles where he's not expecting the shot to come from. Right now, Montreal is constantly going either from the top of the circle or from the slot. Why is it that we cannot set up a play from behind the net like Toronto does? A nice back pass back out to the man trailing, and he's burying the puck into the net. Like we need to start getting creative.
Yes. This is a complaint I kind of have about Ducharme. When Ducharme came into the league or came in to take over the team, one of the things I heard about him, because I had never really seen him coach the Mooseheads, but they're going to be creative, so he's going to allow them to do that and this and blah, blah, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I agree with you. I'm not seeing it. Like, where is that players are allowed to create? Like, why is it that he's no longer switching the lines while they're playing? Like, he's got his set lines. Like, go back to the way you used to be. Like, mix it up a bit. Get guys going.
Yeah.
Like when we had Drouin, why didn't he shuffle Drouin around? Why did he just constantly keep him with Group A that he had him set up with? Like, why not shuffle guys around?
Speaking of Drouin, if anybody, because I get this question a lot, so since you brought up Drouin, if anyone's saying, if Drouin comes back for the playoffs, Drouin's not coming back for the playoffs. They've pretty much
he's not coming back, period.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, okay, that is a discussion for a different day. I kind of agree with you, but he won't be back for the playoffs.
No.
Unless something drastically changes with Drouin, they're not expecting him back at all till next season. So that's a question if you're,
And even then, I don't know if Drouin will come back next season either. Like you have to have a thick skin to play in Montreal, right?
Yeah. But like I said, that's a discussion I don't think we need to. Drouin's not going to be back. There's no need to wonder what it's like if he was back here or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be back. So they've got what they've got.
No, I love the guy's hands. I love his speed and I love his hands.
No, I know. But I mean, he's not in the equation here. So now let's get on to the Montreal side of the offense. I guess I didn't really tackle that a little bit. So how does Montreal's offense, what do they have to do to score more than 2 goals? Because that's going to be necessary. So this is something that I thought I had it written down here, and I guess I didn't. But it was in my season preview, my series preview for my video. There's something that they don't do very much of lately, and that one of those things are winning the middle. So they're not getting into the middle where Toronto can get anywhere to freaking hell want, right, to score.
Yeah.
And Montreal, it's all perimeter. So they're not winning the middle. And now I can't remember. There was another point with that. Here's something that we don't have that Toronto does have. Although I don't know if they have this on defense, but they have it up front. And that's they got those 2 important studs down the middle in Matthews and Tavares. Whether you like either of them, and I don't, you can't deny that they are studs compared to what we've got right now down the middle. So they're winning down the middle, right? And they're getting to the middle. Those 2 things down the middle that they're doing great. And this is where I don't know if they have everything it takes to win a cup. Well, I don't think they will win a cup. It's on defense. They kind of have one in Riley. Although Riley, if I'm right, he's prone to some really bad mistakes.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
am I right?
A lot.
I don't watch a lot of Toronto hockey, but I watch a lot. I watch enough of John at Hot Take Hockey when he's doing the games, and it seems like Riley makes a lot of boneheaded plays as well. As much as he's great offensively and all that, defensively not great. So I don't know that they have the studs on defense because TJ Brody, experienced and all that, don't know that he's a 30-minute stud either. So I don't, but they're a bit ahead of us. We don't have that. We got Petrie. We got another stud on defense. We have them in the making. I think Romanov is one in the making. Guys coming up, I think, will be, but we don't have. And we have the 2 studs up front. They're just not ready yet. We got 3 really in the making, right? In Suzuki, Caulfield, and KK. I believe we will have 3 studs up front. We just don't have them right now. So that's Montreal's offense. So if we're going to beat Toronto, we're going to beat Toronto on the back of hard work. And I mean hard work, 60-minute hockey.
It's, forecheck and the tenacity that we talk about, right? The
physical, nasty, mean play.
Yeah. Everybody's got to play to their size.
And then goaltending. And I'm going to give this before we get to goaltending. No, we're going to get to goaltending soon. But I'm going to forget. If anybody out there really thinks, I'll put Allen in, we're going to beat Toronto. I dare say no. I love Allen and all that. But if you're going to guarantee that Allen's going to beat all these teams and get us on what information is that based? So, Carey Price is going to have to get us there. But we're going to get to that. I couldn't help myself. Let's move on. Shamir, you didn't have a say. Offense. Let's go. Come on.
Well, with offense, I really would like to see more of this creativeness that we were led to believe that Ducharme was going to bring in, because it's still the same conservative approach that we saw under Julien. And I think that we've discussed several times Bergevin having his hand on the scales here, and what you mentioned earlier in this evening's chat, Rick, about Bergevin saying, "Oh no, we gotta rein it back. We can't obliterate the other teams." And
that was Peter was saying that.
But okay, sorry.
It's okay,
sorry, Peter.
No, it's all good.
It's just. Just let the players play, stop holding players back, obviously, and start being more aggressive, stop shooting from the perimeter. And it's just, we just need to go in there, get at it, and just have a bit more of a spark that, that we've had in certain games, even at the beginning of the season. I know that it's expecting a lot to get to that level, but find something that's better, because there have been times when the offense just looked lackluster and just seemed invisible. It's just ridiculous here.
True. But I wouldn't say stop shooting from the perimeter, but start shooting from other places too, because they need to shoot a little more right now. They're not shooting enough right now. And I think they need to shoot from all over the place. But you got to get in front, or you're not.
There's nobody in front of the goaltender. There's never anybody in front of the goaltender.
No, that's it. They're not really doing that job there. Yeah. Let's get a little bit let's see what's being said here. I just want to see if I can find anything that's on. Okay, Robin actually makes a good point here, because we were talking about physical play. And I think up until this season, I think she's. I'm assuming Robin. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Robin's a name. It could be either. So I'm going to say Robin instead of she or he. I think Robin is right in that in previous years, Toronto's been kind of not a physical team, right? You can easily push them around. I think a lot of the moves they made this year, I think that made them a little tougher. I think there's going to be a little more pushback from them. So I think, it's going to make for a bit of a more, like a physical kind of a series, but it doesn't change the fact that if we are physical with their big guys, I don't think they're going to like it a lot.
No, they're not. But once you get Simmons off the ice, then who have they got? Right.
Foligno, Thornton can still, come on. These guys, they're a little tougher than they have been. Let's put it that way. They're tougher than they have been. And not to say that Montreal can't match their toughness. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a little more pushback there from Toronto for sure on the toughness department. So, that's a good point. We're going to talk some of the things I'm reading here. We're going to talk about soon. So I don't really want to get into it here. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah.
Can't really see what people are posting.
Here's something. See, it says start Price. If he lets in some soft goals, pull him. Allen adds another dimension. Yeah, they've got to start with Price, because if Price is on his game, I'm sorry, Allen's not going to match that. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't count Allen completely out of it. But
no, I wouldn't either. But I'm just saying.
At the same time, like we talked about this the last time with Delaney there. Remember, we had a discussion with regards to Price, and I know you want to talk about that later, so I'll hold off on that. Actually, we'll continue. What's this? Simon Thornton, Simmons.
It's okay. I was just putting that. Okay, Robin, I got it. I wasn't sure, so now I know. Thanks. That clears that up because. All right, sorry. Okay. Anyways, let's move into defense. Because you can't talk about defense until this goes up. I prepared, right? I mean, I made that. It took me like 2 minutes to make that. I'm gonna put it up, right? All right. We're gonna talk about defense. Let's do the same thing and talk about their defense. Start with Toronto's defense. Shamir, what do you think about the differences between Montreal's defense and Toronto's, and how it's going to affect, hopefully, the outcome of this series?
I think that Montreal, in comparison to Toronto, I just think that I don't know, for some reason in this playoffs, I just think maybe the goaltending and the defense can be that vulnerable weak spot that hopefully that we can exploit. Because I just don't know how all of that's going to be in the playoffs, because it's just the same thing with anything else with Toronto. They're just so unpredictable once they get into the playoffs. We just don't know what we're really going to see based on past.
Well, they haven't been in the playoffs for so long, right?
Well, no, there's that as well, but I just honestly don't know too much about the Toronto defense to
it's my problem too.
On it. yeah.
Peter, what's your opinion of the Toronto defense?
They're smooth skating.
They are
very smooth skating. They move the puck well. They don't have a Petrie. We got the Petrie.
Well, Morgan Riley kind of. Why?
Because.
No, comparable.
Like we said earlier, Riley tends to make those bonehead mistakes, right? Whereas
so does Petrie. Oh,
not as often. Not as often.
Petrie. No, but he does. He does at times.
He does at times.
Maybe not. No, I don't watch Toronto enough, but you might be right. Maybe not as often. But I mean, they're comparable somewhat, I think.
But I think our defense, we've got enough speed. We also have some good toughness. I really need Weber to step up. There were a couple of times last year where he started playing physical. In the beginning of the season, he played physical. There were a couple of points in Vancouver where he at the beginning of the season he laid a couple of nice hits, and I was like, yeah, that's the Weber I know. Where the hell have you been hiding? He hit somebody into the boards and then stood over top of him. Like, what are you going to do? I would love to see that. And our defense has got to do that and keep the front of the net clean. Let the goaltender see the puck so they can make the stop.
Yeah, I think with our defense, we're going to see a difference in the playoffs here. And something that was a problem in the regular season, and that's the lack of puck movers. I don't think that's going to be as big of an effect here. Because in the playoffs, I think that physical pounding play might be a little bit more important than them being able to move the puck as much. I don't think in the playoffs, it sounds weird, I know that, but I think that physical pounding kind of defense that we have is going to be more effective, at least against Toronto anyway.
That's why I think Bergie brought those boys in.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of that. What's the word I'm looking for? But that people aren't really thinking about that. The defense is kind of really going to be different when it comes to the playoffs, right? Also, if you go to overtime, you don't have 3-on-3, right? So all these things are going to help. I think Montreal, and I think Montreal's defense is definitely going to match up well to play that kind of game that they're going to need to play in the playoffs against the Maple Leafs. The way they can bang Matthews and Tavares and anybody around, those are the guys that are going to do it. And I think we got enough. I mean, we got Weber, Sherratt, Edmondson, Petrie can bang around too, Romanov without a doubt. Exactly. So we've got that. We've got that part. So I think our defense actually matches up way better than any other part of the team against Toronto in the playoffs.
As much as it pains me to say this, I think Kulak has stepped up a lot too.
I forgot Kulak. Yeah. In my preview,
guy's a smooth skater.
In my preview for the series, actually, I have him as a he's what's the word that I use? It's right in front of me here. A wild card. Kulak can be a wild card because if he really steps up and has kind of the way he played last year, right? He can make a huge difference. So
I think if you start giving him a few more minutes a game, I think he can make a difference. His offensive ability is there. You see it.
Yeah, I think Kulak, hopefully they'll play him with Weber when Weber comes back. And you know what, though? Considering what I just said, maybe that's not going to be such a difference, right? So Sherratt Weber might be a lot better in the playoffs than
I think Sherratt's better with Weber.
Yeah, I think for the playoffs, I'll take that back there. I think for the playoffs, Sherratt Weber is going to be okay.
I would like to see Kulak with Edmondson, and then
No, I want to see either Kulak or Edmondson with Petrie. I don't want to see that to change.
No,
Edmondson and Petrie have been
I was thinking if you could have, I would like to see Romanov and Petrie together and see.
I don't know. You have two very similar defensemen. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I think it could.
No, I just think that Edmondson and Petrie played quite well together. I don't really want to break that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. No, I don't think they have played very well together.
And I think Kulak can play with anybody. So Kulak and Romanov are going to be fine, personally. Now, as far as Toronto's defense, I don't know enough about them, except, I think you're right. They're good skaters. They move the puck well. I think it's still a bit defensively challenged, kind of like Montreal, right? I think it's kind of like Montreal where you don't know, and I don't know that
they don't have any big names on their defense that really shine out at you, right?
No, and I don't think they have that toughness that Montreal's defense has. So I give an edge to Montreal on the defense, where I give an edge to Toronto for the offense, but I'm going to definitely give an edge to Montreal on the defense.
I was just going to have a quick peek at Toronto's defense and see who they have.
I can put it up on the board if you want. I have.
Because off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody that really stands out on that defense for me.
Yeah, let me just get this.
Other than Riley.
No, I mean, TJ Brody's been pretty good for them. So you've got that. Let me see if they. I don't know if they. Yeah, they don't. I got to get the other one. I got two sites. One doesn't separate the defense and the offense. One does, I believe. That's why I got separate ones. Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Players to watch. Whoops. Jake Muzzin.
Still loading.
No, it's all good.
You're good? Muzzin could be someone to... Hang on, here it comes. There we go. Okay, let me just share the screen. Wait, where's my mouse? All right, so
Bogosian.
Bogosian's out.
He's out. Oh,
yeah,
good. That makes me happy.
Bogosian's
Rasmus Sandin. He's
something
to be.
Sandin will be there. I think for the last couple of games, they had to put him on the taxi squad to make room for Anderson. So I saw that. But in playoffs, that's not a problem. So, Sandin is there. If they have Saberant in the lineup, that guy's a son of a bitch. Oh, he's a forward anyway. So maybe they don't have it separated. But anyway, let me get over my mouse. I'm on two screens. I don't know where my mouse is.
Take your time, Rick. There's no rush, man.
It's okay. So there you see, you got Brody here. Brody's been pretty good from what I understand. Let me see. Dermott is a defenseman. Justin Hall. Muzzin. Obviously Riley. And
Hall's not bad either, is he?
Who's that?
That Hall kid. He's not that bad, actually.
He's having a good season, I think.
Yeah.
Hall. So listen, overall, I still think Montreal's defense is better served for the playoffs.
Oh, by far.
Yeah. So I think, so I think over there on defense, like I said, on offense, I'm going to give it to them. But defense, you got to give it to okay, where's my mouse? You got to give it to Montreal, in my opinion.
Montreal takes the defense, like you said, and Toronto takes offense. Yeah. And I wouldn't put Toronto too far ahead on offense, just slightly ahead on offense. Because if guys like Toffoli all of a sudden wake up again and Anderson wake up again.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really talk about that on Montreal's offense, right?
Right.
We kind of didn't hit on that.
They've kind of fallen asleep a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how much of that is because of the damn lines. Changed all the time. I don't think they're really properly thought out, and I'm just wondering if it's coaching.
It's the blender. It's the blender.
It's the blender. I'm telling you, man. It's the blender.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to the audience, please just be patient. We're going to get to audience comments soon. So no worries. And I'm going to check. Let me just check here. And we're going to get to the next topic in a sec. But the next topic I want to get that up there. Hang on a second. You guys can start talking about it while I do what I got to do here. So we're going to talk about goaltending.
Oh, God. Goaltending.
Okay. Peter, since you said, oh, God, goaltending, you're leading off. Okay. So
that's not fair.
Compare what apparently Price will be ready for game one. This is what I read today.
Okay.
Price,
yeah.
He'll be ready for game one.
That's wonderful. So,
based on that, and we know it'll be Campbell starting for Toronto. I mean, it's got to be Campbell starting for Toronto.
It is Campbell?
Oh, I'd be surprised it's not Campbell.
Because out here, all they're saying out on the West Coast here is everybody's talking Anderson, this, Anderson.
Why, though? Why would that be? Anyway, I don't know. I don't have any confirmation. From what I'm reading, it seems like it's going to be Campbell. If it were me, I'd start Campbell. Anyway,
me too.
You compare what you think. Like, how would you compare and who's got an advantage here? Assuming Price starting, and then what you think? You think he's going to be glass and break? Or whatever you think, let me know. Something I wanted to check.
Okay. With Price starting, wow.
Yeah.
It makes me a little bit nervous because he's been off for a long time, but you know what? He's from Anaheim, like.
Yeah.
He's got that. You know what? I'm gonna change my tone on Price. I apologize. Maybe he'll step it up. Maybe he'll come out with that fire in his eyes and that desire to win. Maybe he's had enough of a break where he's in a good, clean headspace and he can move forward.
Right.
Let's cross our fingers on that. And if he does come out on fire,
like last season, right?
Toronto doesn't stand a chance.
If we get Carey Price from the
Price of old, look out.
Or from the RTP last season.
Yeah.
If we get that Carey Price, we're going to be just fine, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Shamir, oh, no, you didn't compare it. No, wait, sorry. Hang on, Shamir.
I would just like to say, with Price, I need for our defense to protect him. Let him take the shot, let him face the shots, but
clear the net.
Clear the net. Keep that front of the net clear. Keep everybody. Don't even let him get a snow shower. Don't even want to see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it clear. And then if it's Campbell, If we can generate enough offense in a way where we can get Campbell moving side to side, we're gonna score. We gotta get Campbell moving. He doesn't stop the puck when he's moving.
There's that creativity thing. There's that creativity thing. They're not doing the cross ice passes. They're not using the open seams, and then it's all around. It's never through.
Everybody can move the goddamn puck around the bloody ice, just on the outside. Like, let's get creative. Get in there.
Yeah, make the goalie move.
Yeah, if it's price of old, forget it. Hands down, it's Montreal's favor. I don't know. What do you think, Shamir?
Yeah, what do you think?
My gut tells me that I think that we can get the price of at least the RTP in this series, because whenever, like in these situations when expectations have been low or we're just not sure, like we did in when the RTP started, man, we got the carry price that we were looking for. And my gut tells me that we can get that again. And with Toronto's goalies, apart from Anderson, are they really playoff tested? Can they really step that up? Because, of course, playoffs being a different beast.
True.
But I just, even if Allen starts, no disrespect to Jake Allen, I think he can keep us in it, but he'd still make me nervous in a playoff situation.
I agree.
But this is no knock on Allen. He's still way better than some of the other backups that we've had, especially in playoff series when they've had to fill in for an injured Price. But it's just, I just don't think I'd give Montreal the edge in goaltending if it's Allen that we're riding in this playoffs.
How do you feel about them having Campbell starting? Oh, sorry, Peter, did you want to add something to what he was just saying?
How many games has Campbell played this year? 17? 18?
No, he's got 17 wins. He's 17. Oh, hang on a second. I have it here.
He's got a lot of games under his belt.
Yeah, I have it. 17, 3-2 with 2 shutouts, and he's 215 and a 9.21 save percentage. Got good numbers. So
that could kind of wear on him, the back-to-back play, all those games. He could be a little bit tired going into this.
Could be.
I don't know. I like it. I don't want to see Anderson in net. For some reason,
Anderson doesn't bother me. See, Anderson doesn't
scares me because he's like the Anderson from the Senators,
Yeah, I get it, but
he shut us down.
But I've seen many games where Anderson is either really good against Montreal or we score against him.
He's a complete flop.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Okay, so how do I see it? I see it if we're going to go far, and that includes beating Toronto. And I've said this already that we're going to do that on the back of Carey Price. And it is like Shamir said, it's no knock on Jake Allen. But Price has been injured. Jake Allen has been playing against Toronto. It has been playoff hockey. He hasn't won. And it's not a knock on him. He's not Carey Price. We have one elite player on this team, it's Carey Price. Now the key is, can he find the magic? That's what I'm thinking. Can he find the magic? If he can, yeah. Last year, we were complaining about Price going into the stoppage, right? We were complaining about Price. When they came back into the RTP, he was lights out. If he can do that again this year, I'm very confident with Carey Price. And I honestly don't think he's in nets unless he's healthy. I understand Price will get hurt and he'll stay in net. I get that, but I don't think
he's a tough guy.
I don't think they're putting him in unless he's healthy. Now on the other side, Jack Campbell, now he hadn't played a ton of games against Montreal before becoming a Leaf, but he was good against Montreal. Montreal had trouble scoring against him, and it's kind of followed into him being a Leaf. So I think that's why they got to be playing Campbell. I think Montreal needs to find a way to score. If they haven't been able to score against them by not getting shots in front because they're always on the perimeter, well, there's your answer. Get in front, you'll get some goals. So I think they have to do that. And I think if Price is on his game, they just need to score a few goals to win. They don't have to score 5, 6, 7 goals in general, right? So I think
try to avoid.
I think with Price in nets, Montreal has an advantage. If it's Allen that starts, the advantage goes away. That's what I think.
And we just have to.
I don't think Allen is very communicative. Oh, sorry, Shamir. Go
ahead. And please, for God's sakes, just avoid these costly screens. I'm looking at you, Weber. I'm looking at you, Sherrod. I'm looking at.
Yes. Just, don't sit on the goalie's head. That's for his wife to do.
Exactly.
Not for you.
Yes. There you go. But sorry, Peter.
No, it's all good.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next topic. And that is special teams. So we're going to move on to special teams. And once again, everybody out there in audience land, I really apologize we're not getting to a lot of your stuff yet. But we will get to you guys. And I want to go through all this stuff. And since I'm not the greatest at running the board and trying to talk at the same time and be part of the conversation, especially when we're only 3 of us, that it's a lot harder for me to do that. I can't. I know I'm kind of lax on you guys. Good timing there. Thank you, Andrew. Some Andrew hype in the room and some Dono hype. Thank you. I can't see the sticker, but thanks, Andrew. I really appreciate it. And I hope I didn't miss anybody's. I'm going to scroll really quickly up and see if I missed, and it doesn't seem like I did. So that's good. Thank you so much, Andrew. I want to, I do appreciate that, and it really does support the channel, and it does help a lot. All right. So we're going to talk about special teams. For the first time, I think I'm going to kick in here first. I think special teams could be the thing that if you're the team with the better special teams in this series, you're going to be the winner. I think, and why do I say that? If you look at the stats for special teams, I'll give them here. I have them. Power play, Toronto 20% for 16th in the league. Montreal 19.2% for 18th in the league. Now, the only thing that scares me there is Montreal's power play is either great or totally shits the bed. Don't know which one. Hopefully, it'll be the great one. So, but the point is they're even there. PK percentage, 78.5%. Both teams tied at 22nd in the league. So, special teams are quite even. And it's a surprise to me because Toronto's power play must have sucked recently because they had a better power play than that. So I really think special teams could be key here in that, boy, you get some power play goals and you stop the other team. That could be the difference in every game. So I think special teams are really going to be important. Peter, what do you think?
I agree. To a point. That last game where Montreal got the shorty, I love seeing shorties, and I want to see Lecky get a little more ice time. God damn it, that guy plays with a lot of heart. Yes, he makes some mistakes, but give that little guy some more ice time, especially on penalty kills. That guy, I love him. He's a Brendan Gallagher in the making, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, at least he stays on his feet.
He needs a little more offense, but man, I love his defensive side, and
right?
He's a smart player.
He's got good hockey sense.
Yeah,
kind of like Cole Caulfield. He's got the hockey sense.
If he had a little more finish, and no pun intended, but if he had a little more finish to his game, no, seriously, he'd be pretty good. Like a solid scoring third line winger kind of thing, right? Yeah.
I think that's going to come with some maturity to his game. Give him another year or two, and I think you will see that come into fruition with him. But he has no finish. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, well, that's basically what I said.
But as for special teams, I think, I don't know. I got a funny feeling if Price is in net and he can see the puck.
Look who showed up.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can pull it off. I don't want us taking a lot of penalties against Toronto because they can generate that offense on.
Yep, agreed.
On the turn of a dime. So.
Well, I think in general in playoff hockey, you want to stay out of the box. I mean,
right? Like,
yeah. I don't
give your
think
head a shake. Don't
playing.
take stupid penalties. And God damn it, the refs better stay out of the bloody game.
We're gonna get into that. Let's not get into that. That's one of the topics. Let's not get there yet. Shamir, what do you think about special teams?
Well, Kirk Muller really needs to step it up as head of the power play coach there. Oops, I made that mistake. I didn't really notice that.
You haven't got a power play coach.
But
true. He's it. But you know what happened, eh? He has symptoms of something. He was sick. They didn't take it. They weren't taking chances. They gave him a few days off. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read about that.
And also, the penalty kill. I mean, that's been more the bright spot in terms of special teams this year compared to the power play, because I tend to feel more confident with the penalty kill rather than the power play this season. And I just, so I've.
But once again, we don't want to be on the kill, right? I don't want to be killing penalties. Yeah,
and it also, it just seems to be like a wash with the special teams because it's just because whenever we go in the power play, it's just okay, we lose the face-off and then we're wasting 20 seconds or whatever trying to chase the puck back, and it just seems like we only get maybe one shot or two shots on the power play, and it's just almost seems like 2 minutes of just dead ice hockey there.
Yeah, when the power play is sucky. Yeah. You got a fan out there. Shamir's bang on his comments. Let him talk more, Rick. I always want Shamir to talk more. That's not on me. And he's always.
I only talk when I got something to say.
And he's always bang on.
Brad.
And he's always bang on his comments, and he should talk more. But that's fine. He talks when he has something. That's why he's always bang on. He only talks when he knows he's 100% right.
And plus, still got to be Rick's bodyguard here.
That's right. Don't mess with my bodyguard. Okay, so that's special teams. We're going to go on to the next topic, which is here, depth. So the problem for me on this topic, and it might be the same for you guys, and I don't, if that's the case, we'll only talk about the one team. I don't know. I know a little bit of their depth. I don't know enough to really talk a lot about it, so I'll do my best. You guys do the same, and we'll do our best on it. That's why I wanted to have some Leafs fans. I tried to get some Leafs fans. It didn't work out. Next time we do something like this, I'm definitely going to start earlier and then be able to maybe get some because, it's on me. So I tried to get the other side, but we couldn't. Okay, so for depth, okay, I'll start because I don't have a ton to say. Montreal's depth obviously is there. So I'm not as worried if someone, depending on who, I'm not as worried if someone gets hurt. I think that I think our depth is probably a little bit better in that our overall, I guess it goes to offense as well. Their offense is kind of tied into top two lines, mostly. And I'm not saying only, so Leafs fans don't come down on me. I'm not saying only, but mostly tied into. Whereas Montreal's offense is clearly, other than Toffoli, is tied into a group thing, right? One line might have it that night, and although so many nights, no lines had it, but One line has it, next night it's another line. And in the last couple of games, we saw that, right? The third line, Evans, that night they had. The next night, Suzuki and Caulfield, right? So we saw that kind of happen. So the depth, I think Montreal's probably got an advantage here in the depth as far as I can see. I don't know Toronto's well enough, but I like Montreal's depth. If there are problems and there are injuries, or just because the situation requires in the next game, a change, I'm confident in the guys that can be moved around. Who wants to tackle it now? Well, Shamir was last. Shamir got the vote. Shamir, you're going to lead off first.
Well, in terms of Montreal's depth, that's not something that I really worry about. But Toronto's, I just don't know too much about, so I just don't know who to give the edge to in terms of depth.
Okay, now it's fair. You know what? I think Toronto did a really decent job at adding at the trade deadline, where Montreal, let's face it, now we know at the trade deadline, Montreal shit the bed. Right? 3 players they brought in, Stahl, Merrill, and Gustafson, haven't really done anything for us. So, yeah. Peter, what do you think?
Depth-wise, hate to say it, I give the edge to Toronto.
I think that's fair too.
I mean, look, they're going to sit Engvall, from what I understand, right? And that he's played really well against us, so I'm happy that they're going to sit him. I think of some of our depth, like I think of some of the guys that we have. Frolik, he's old, he's slow. Perry's slow and old. If we had those guys in their prime, we'd be laughing right now.
True.
The roles would be flipped. So I got to give the depth thing a little bit of advantage to Toronto, but
I think that's fair though, because I think Toronto did a really good job at improving their depth.
They did, and I sure wonder how they're staying under the cap with all that depth.
Long-term injury. What's the IR injury? Whatever.
Long time.
It's not coming to me. I don't know.
Long-term injury reserve.
Reserve. That's the word. Yeah. LTIR. They made that trade. Didn't they make a trade? They got somebody. They put him on the LTIR. They got like $7 million in
it's also how Tampa got out of cap hell for this season as well.
Exactly. That's what happened. That's how they're doing it. And now it's playoffs, so cap.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Cap means nothing.
Cap means absolutely nothing. You know what? I wouldn't. I would say it's probably 50-50 for me. Like I think they both got good depth. I don't know enough exactly about Toronto's, but I from what I can tell, it's about 50-50. I just don't like.
When I say I'm giving the edge to Toronto, it's by a very slim margin. Slim,
but it's fair. No, but that's fair to say. I think if you say it either way, it's. Yeah, I think I'm okay with it. So, but I have it pretty much even as far as the depth. We're going to tackle one more, and then we're going to do. We'll go back. We'll go to the chat for a few 5-10 minutes, and then there's a couple more things that I want to talk about. And the last one we're going to talk about right now is coaching.
Yeah.
Ooh, is somebody going to go on a rant? All right. Who wants to tackle coaching first? Shamir. Rant first, man. Rant away. How do you compare the coaching, and I guess how do you feel about Ducharme right now?
Well, Ducharme, I really would like to see more of this creativity from Ducharme that we were promised. I just wish that Bergie would get his hand off the scale here and just let Ducharme do his job and let the players do their job, because I feel like that this team is being held back. And I just, you just really don't notice really a change behind the bench here. there might have been some spurts here and there during after the coaching change, but overall it just seems the same.
Yeah.
As for Toronto, Sheldon Keefe, you know what, he had big shoes to fill after Babcock was fired, and I think that he's done a good job of it. It wasn't an easy situation, but you know, he's had the players and all of that to make a success of it. Whether or not they get past that hump in the playoffs, I just don't know. But again, I'll leave that for the playoff prediction part of the discussion.
Peter, what do you think?
Keefe, he's doing a great job. Yes, he had big shoes to fill when he came in after Babcock, but Babcock literally left him with a gold plate to work with. You know, all he had to do was come in and implement his program, and a program that is actually working very, very well, I might add. Ducharme, I was ecstatic to see him on our coaching staff. Very ecstatic. You know, you watch some of the Canadian boys junior games, and you see his creativity in there. Yeah, and you know, you watch him with the affiliate club, and while he was down there, and what he did. And like you say, Shamir, somebody's got a hand on his head saying, "Nope, you can't jump higher than that." Let Ducharme coach. He's coach. You've told him he's coach. Let him do his thing. Let him just, if he shits the bed, let him shit the bed. But if he can be allowed to do what he can do, I think he outcoaches Keefe in a heartbeat. If he's allowed to do what he has done in the past. I don't know if the pressure of coaching in Montreal is getting to him and he's stressing and he's just trying to keep everything just, okay, I'm just going to keep everything vanilla. I don't want to lose this job. I want to keep this job. I don't know if that pressure is getting to him or what, but I want him to do what he's done in the past. I want him to do it now, because if he does it now, I give coaching to Montreal, hands down.
You give it to Montreal.
Yeah.
if he's allowed to coach, yeah.
If he's allowed to coach.
Yeah. Because I don't.
But if he's not allowed to coach, if he's not allowed to do what he does best.
Yeah. Because it's
Toronto's
baffling. It's totally baffling. I didn't really know Ducharme much. I hadn't really, right? But everything I'd heard when he got hired, like I'm still waiting to see the stuff that I heard about.
Toronto, you hear about the coach. Rarely do you hear anything being said about the GM, do you? At least out here, we never hear anything being said about the GM. I don't even know the GM's name, to be honest with you.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Kyle Dubas.
Rarely hear conversation about him. Berkey is on.
I know, because that's what
he's a GM.
Kyle Dubas's every game. That's what these are.
I'm being a wee bit on the sarcastic side. Rick,
so am I.
Right? But
these are called Kyle Dubas's. I'm not joking. That's what I call him in my head. Okay, sorry. That's his name.
But you see what I'm getting at? Like, you rarely hear any conversation about Kyle Dubas, but yet when you talk about Montreal, the first name that pops up is Bergevin.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
When you talk about Toronto, the first name that pops up is Keefe.
But wait a second, though. But when Toronto was kind of struggling, say the last 2 years, right? And when they didn't beat CBJ last year, I mean, you heard a lot about Dubas, though, at that point. So when they were doing bad, yeah, they beat up on their GM just as much.
Yeah. Well, you know, being out on the West Coast, really don't hear a lot about the East Coast teams.
You're lucky. You don't hear a lot about Toronto. You're lucky.
Well,
I want to move out there.
I don't watch a lot of TSN out here.
I don't
watch a lot of local stuff, and then I go on the Habs websites. I mean, it's better known as out here we call it Toronto Sportsnet. right? The Toronto Sports and Entertainment Net, or whatever the hell we want.
Toronto Sports Network.
It's getting frustrating.
It
out
is.
here, we don't even get the games, Montreal games, half the time.
I know you don't. I know.
It's brutal.
I got a buddy out in Kelowna, and yeah, he doesn't get too many games anymore.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you led me to this Sports Surge place, and I've been actually able to watch games.
Yeah, he won't do that, but yep, that's exactly it. Okay, as promised, let's take a look and see what you guys. So now we're gonna spend 10 minutes going over you guys. So start commenting, and we'll talk about what you guys are saying. So this is Kurt saying about the Leafs. They've been struggling since '67. Very true. You can't help it when you had Harold Ballard as your president. You couldn't help but struggle with that guy.
Yeah.
Offense is one-sided. Marner, Nylander, Tavares is better than your top offense players. And the Leafs have a lot of depth offense players like Kerfoot, Foligno, etc. Offense one-sided. I don't know about that personally. And Foligno, I mean, he did okay there. I guess I think he had 4 assists since he's been in Toronto. Not great. Kerfoot is, he's not a great offensive player. I think Montreal matches up.
Yeah,
easily on the depth offense. Personally, that's pretty. Hey, Jeremy's there. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey,
how's it going, buddy? I think he had said he wasn't. Today wasn't the greatest day for him. He's the only one that said Sunday was better for him. Get Bell service, Peter. They show all the Habs games.
Jeff, does that include out west? Because I know that Rick, myself, and Jeff are in the Habs region, so we would get that on TSN 2. But I just don't know if that would apply on the West Coast. There,
TSN 2, no, that won't apply.
Oh no, we don't get TSN
2. You're not getting it. No,
because that's only for.
Lockout in effect.
Yeah, because I mean, Rick, myself, and Jeff, we're in the Habs region, so we can get that if we had TSN 2, but. Wouldn't, but outside of that, I don't think that would apply in Peter's case, for instance.
Quinn is saying, what do you guys feel about Jack Campbell? Well, we were talking about him earlier. He says the rebound machine, we should be able to figure him out. But we can't, it seems. Montreal has trouble against Jack Campbell. I don't know why, but we talked about it a bit earlier.
Yeah, because Montreal keeps shooting at Campbell. Move the guy around and shoot away from Campbell, and you'll screen the guy. Like, we've got big guys. Why can't we put our
yes, Weber, we have plenty of players that screen our goalie. Why can't they do that for their
right?
Foligno was not brought in for the season. He was brought in for the playoffs. I don't disagree. I mentioned Foligno, I believe, earlier. I'm just saying his points production or whatever wasn't great so far. Campbell,
Foligno's a good gritty player.
He's a gritty player. It's one of the for the grit part of the game. He was an improvement. Campbell's not a positional goalie. Campbell makes stack the pads and diving types of saves, which could work for or against him. Well, that would go to what Peter's saying. Make him go side to side. He's gonna be flopping and flipping, going all over the place. That's what But Montreal hasn't been able to. Do well.
Montreal's not creative at times. We need to be more creative. That's
they're not using the seam. They're not doing any of that stuff to make them go side to side.
So, and I hope to hell that they've been playing this vanilla offense just to lure everybody into bed, and then bang, we're just gonna all of a sudden turn on the light and just go, here you go. We're gonna bury the puck.
Yeah. I mean, just in terms of Campbell and, us being able to, figure him out, it's just pretty much every goalie this year we've made them look like Vezina contenders, right? Whether it's their first professional game or their 40-year-olds who haven't played in forever. It's just the same thing.
Exactly. How many times in my reviews I said, are we always going to run into a hot goalie? Like every goalie is hot? Is that how it is? Like,
Matt Murray was shitting the bed so much until he faced us, and then he started to find find his one good game again.
Roger, I think we're going to talk about this in a bit. See what Jeff had to say here, since he won't come on here on the panel. Mm-hmm. The only chance the Habs have is to come out with a total different look after the break, and Price is the MVP. The rest of the division figured out how to shut the Habs down after the first month. Well, somebody figured it out. Something happened.
Well, yeah, Vancouver never figured it out. That's for sure.
Not Vancouver. Well, no, they sort of did. We didn't kill them as much after that first month. Gallagher will figure Campbell out. Let's hope.
Yeah, well, Gallagher is going to get Campbell. Hopefully, Gallagher just gets in Campbell's face and just gets Campbell off his game.
We really
can't believe one of our smallest players is going to be. What's that, Schmier?
Oh, sorry. We just need also just Gallagher just to be Gallagher and be that spark plug for the team.
But where's Gallagher always go? I'm one of the smallest guys on the team. Where's he always standing? Yeah. Right in front of the bloody goaltender to bury the puck, right? We need bigger guys to be doing that too. You know?
Robin is saying no matter what, Matthews has a really good record on scoring on Carey Price. So that means that. Well, that's why we're talking about. You got to shut Matthews down. You got to shut him down.
I think Danault can shut him down.
You got to find a way.
I think
Jeff
can stick to him like glue.
Jeff would take Campbell over Allen any day, but I love Campbell and wish he wasn't the lead. Sadly, with Weber in the lineup, we are weaker defensively and susceptible to giving up a lot of turnovers. Well, let's hope he's back. When he's back, his hand is better and he won't be doing that. But I think that's the big reason. He's been injured for a little while. But you're right. I mean, I'm almost like maybe Weber doesn't have to come back for the playoffs. You know?
I'd be happy with it. I'd be totally happy if Weber didn't come back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
shutout, but losing 5 games because we can't score 3 goals a game in the series. You're going to have to start scoring. That's for sure. Okay, so the Leafs got better offensive D players, and the Habs got better defensive D players. Put that together, and I say the defense is even because both are just as significant. But I think our defense is also a little bit more physical and bruising and punishing, and that's what they've got to play out, is that aspect.
Yeah. I remember when Romanov first came in at the beginning of the season, he was seeing the ice very well and delivering that puck tape to tape. I don't know what happened. Romanov. Sorry, Romanov.
Yeah. I mean, his
game has kind of gone away a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's his rookie season. It's not, you know, and he's not used to playing as many games, even though it was only 56 games. Remember, they don't play a ton of games, I don't think, in the KHL. Am I right? They don't play a ton of games. And he wasn't playing all the time or playing a lot of minutes there. They weren't, because they knew he was coming to North America. They didn't. I remember that. They weren't playing him as many minutes as he should have been playing. So I think that's probably, you know, like when, who was it that did the same thing? KK, his first season. Remember at the end? He was slowing down because he hadn't played as many games ever in his career.
Getting tired.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. All right, let's get back now because I don't want to go too late, that's for sure. Let's talk about something. Refereeing. I hope I spelled it right. So refereeing. We're playing Toronto. I'm going to reference back to because I think this incident just proved, if anybody wasn't, like if everyone said, well, they're not biased to Toronto. No. Joel Edmondson gets $1,000 fine for taking Tavares on a very dangerous trip to South Africa, I guess. I don't know, hunting wild elephants. Now, he hit him in the thigh with a stick. Tavares kind of went down, got back up. No problem. No foul. No problem. He kept going. Nothing happened. And then I think in the same game, or was the game before, I think it was TJ Brody, like pretty much 2 hands, KK in the ankle. Boom, KK goes down like a shot. Nothing. No call, no review, no freaking nothing. Anyway, so it's clear that there's something going on there with the refs. So we're playing in Toronto. How do you think the refs are going to affect this playoff series? Peter, go first.
Oh, the refs need to stay out of the game and let the teams play. That's all I ask. If the refs get involved, we won't make it past game 4.
Yeah.
Why?
But wait, Peter, tell us what you really think, though. Tell us what you really think. Come on.
Why on God's green earth do the refs favor Toronto? Like, is it really that bad that Toronto needs to be kind of babied and pushed into the next series? Like, come on, give me a bloody break.
No, I think it's even more nefarious, personally. Listen, Toronto is in Toronto. Rogers has put a lot of money in Toronto. They've gone all in to win this year, and don't tell me that if there's a team in Canada that the NHL does like, if it's Toronto, I think Toronto's getting some breaks. That thing with Edmonton, that's just clear as day to me.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's Montreal better be prepared to fight their fucking way out of the hole, because they're going to get in the hole more than Toronto will.
Oh, yeah.
From the refs. And we're going to be going, wow, that's a soft call. Are you kidding me? No. Goddamn refs. That's what's going to be going on, if you ask me.
And then people are always saying, oh, you Montreal Canadiens fans, you're always whining about the refs. Well,
yeah.
Sit down, watch the goddamn game. Watch the refs. Watch the silly calls.
Yeah. Or the missed calls.
Or the missed calls.
Yeah. I watch them on what team they are.
I've seen a lot of chippiness. I've seen some spearing. I've had to rewind, rewatch it, and I'm like, wow, how did that get missed? And yet you give a little wrist flick to somebody, and it's like, oh, tweet, you're off. See ya. Go to the box for 2.
Did you see the slew foot on? Was it Armia from Draisaitl?
It was Armia
from Draisaitl. What? I mean, how's that? Like, how that had to be seen by the ref.
That had to be seen by Perros. Why didn't Perros see?
And then how come isn't a slew foot bad? I thought. Apparently not.
Concussion worthy, is it not?
Yeah. Apparently not. It depends on what color uniform you're wearing. If you're wearing red, white, and blue, and depending on how the stripes are, depends. What team? Oh, Montreal. Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah,
that's how they look at it.
It's because we've got 24 cups. We've got enough cups.
Yeah. Toronto needs a cup. Come on.
Yeah,
you gotta catch up. Come on. Shamir, you're quiet. Bodyguard. Come on. What do you think of the referee?
I think that Jeff stole my thunder in his recent comment there. I mean, the fact that the Leafs haven't really made it out of round 1, like how many times have they made it out of round 1 over the last 25 years or so? I don't think that the refs are as biased towards Toronto in the playoffs as we may like to think. I mean, there's some bias there, but not enough to get Toronto over that.
I look at it like this. Despite the help from the refs, Toronto still managed to choke.
And they'll still do that this year. Who knows?
That's how I look at it. But still.
They could still do that. But
Shamir, it's Toronto, Montreal, right? In this case. And the refs are going to be like, no, we don't want no Frenchman going down to the cup. Forget that.
Rogers in the NHL, they could still like to see Montreal win a cup. I mean, who knows?
Peter, it's just been made abundantly clear that there's no Quebec, like just 2 Quebec.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part.
So they're not. Yeah, so you're wrong there. So it's just
sorry, my bad.
It's just the colors they wear. It's the wrong colors. There's not supposed to be any red in our uniforms.
No.
Yeah, but I just hope, all kidding aside, that the refs put the whistle away. That's all I want them to say.
I just thought of something. I just thought of something. What if Montreal wears the retro jerseys? Maybe the refs will confuse the
reverse retro jerseys.
No, I made the call wrong. Oh no.
Makeup call.
Right?
Makeup call.
Either that or the Habs should wear their blue and white jerseys with the white C on it. Centennial jersey too.
Yeah, there you go. Do something. Make them look like Toronto, and
or wear that red jersey with the green maple leaf on it. I mean, isn't that a Maple Leafs jersey? Or the barber pole with the white maple leaf on it?
Ladies and gentlemen, history's made. Montreal Canadiens have redesigned their logo. It's now a maple leaf. Not happening.
Oh, and we've got some dono hype in the room here.
Do we?
Yes. I
apologize for missing. Thank you, Shamir. Isn't Roger again? No, wasn't Roger the first time? No. I don't even. I'm sorry. Roger hype in the room. Shut up, Rick. You're making a fool of yourself. Roger hype in the room. Some more dono hype. Thank you, Roger. Really appreciate that. Really, I hope I didn't miss any other ones. No,
I didn't notice any other ones.
Awesome. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that so much. Where were we now? What were we talking about? Referees.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So in general, all three of us are not great on that. Okay. Let's move on to something a little different. And now for something a little different. Okay, who knows how to make a funny walk? Do you know how to do a funny walk? No?
Ministry of Silly Walks.
There you go. I knew Shamir was going to get it. Yeah. All right. 2 games in 3 nights in Toronto. So the opening of the series, they're playing Thursday, Saturday. Montreal, it's Monday, Tuesday, back-to-back games. How you guys feel about that?
Well,
are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Well, I just look at it as just that if it's going to be a disadvantage it's not going to really be a disadvantage to either team because both teams are having to go through that same schedule.
No, okay, that's fair. I mean, that's fair, but still.
But yeah, it's a compressed schedule. There's going to be a lot of fatigue, that's for sure.
But still, here's okay. I understand what you're saying, but okay. So Toronto's at home, even though the fans aren't there. I know it's whatever. They're still at home. They get a day in between games, right? A little bit easier for them having the home ice advantage to win those 2 games. Montreal comes back home, right? And now they might be down 2 games. And now they got to win back-to-back games. Just stay even. Or possibly lose both games, and that's out quick. I don't like this. I know they both have to play the same game. I don't like this. I think this is an advantage for Toronto.
I agree. The NHL wisdom surfacing again, right? Wow.
It's like every little, no matter how small it is, it's like, I don't know, they're stacking the deck. That's what that makes me feel. Is that they're stacking the deck. Whether they are or not, I'm not saying they are or not. But it sure as hell, the optics of it for me are kind of like that.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. The refs haven't been able to help the Leafs win or get out around one of the playoffs. And try as they may, they always keep falling short of trying to get the Leafs to win even through scheduling. So
okay, exactly.
There is that.
They're doing everything. Hey, the refs didn't. Okay, let's try this too. Let's add this too. Oh yeah, let's add that to the thing. It's like
when do we find out who's reffing games?
Yeah, I don't know who the refs are going to be. They don't announce that, right? I mean, we'll hear probably Wednesday.
A couple of days before.
Yeah, something like that. All right, next question. Which one do I want to go with? Let's do this. Who do you play Weber with, considering it's playoffs, not regular season? We kind of talked about it before we went on air. So all season it's been Sherratt Weber, and we've all been complaining. Basically, neither of them is a puck mover, and it's a problem, and it was a problem in the regular season. So, but when Weber comes back, do you think playing him with Sherratt is the same problem, or the playoffs actually it's more suited for having Weber Sherratt? Who wants to
Weber is now more of a stay-at-home defenseman. He's slow, so I'd like to see somebody quick beside him. Somebody can,
lacking somebody, but lacking somebody other than Kulak, which is fine. But lacking somebody other than Kulak. So if it's not going to be Kulak, do you want Gustafsson? One of them. I mean, I don't really. Now that I've seen how Gustafsson is, I don't think I want him on the top deep pairing. Right?
I want somebody quick. I mean,
okay, but it is the playoffs. So remember, we talked about this before. It is the playoffs. Is that as important in these playoffs, or is that, especially against Toronto, that bruising combination that can move the bodies out of the front of the net if they're not sitting on Carey Price's head? I'm talking about Sherratt Weber, or that mobility that they're going to lack.
Remember this: if you got Sherratt and Weber back there, and then all of a sudden Matthews, Thornton, Marner come flying down there, and they're buzzing, Sherratt and Weber can't keep up. They just can't physically keep up.
That's a good point. They're not. Well, I mean, I imagine Sherratt can kind of. Sherratt skates pretty good, but you're right, though. In general, you're right. They could get beat easily, and maybe that's why they took on Price's head.
I believe Sherratt needs to stay kind of close to Carey Price, but not on top of him, like you say, and just keep that whole front of the net clear.
Yeah.
Weber, keep the perimeter clear. Stop the puck. Get board somebody if you have to. Just
because there's no doubt they're going to play together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So.
Although Weber's not back yet in practice, but he should be back for the thing. Shamir, what do you think?
Well, I mean, Kulak did play well with, what was it, Weber or Sherratt when we were talking about D lines, not too long ago during the regular season. But Kulak, Kulak definitely, and I think it's also been mentioned that Romanov being another option to pair up on the top D line there with if it is Weber on the top line there. So I would say
I wouldn't mind seeing Romanov with him, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's worked at times when he's gotten that opportunity, but it's only
you could
here
substitute.
And there.
You could substitute. You could go Sherratt Weber, and then on the odd time throw Romanov out there.
And also Kulak has seemed to work well with, I think Weber or Sherratt there when he's had that opportunity as well.
They're all four of them are very interchangeable. So why not just kind of keep that flow going and just interchange them?
Just keep going with whatever works rather than just putting the all of that into the blender as usual and just
I agree.
Well,
go
ahead.
I agree with you, Rick. Maybe keep Edmonton and Petrie together and let them do their thing, because you know what, you're right.
Without a doubt,
they could exploit some holes.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this is what I'm going to say. I think in the playoffs, where I don't like Sherratt Weber I don't like that as a combination, but I think in the playoffs, if you use them right, and I think in this case, I think it's going to be important. You make sure that it's Edmondson Petrie is that first pairing, right? I want to see Edmondson Petrie as the first pairing defenseman, and then you make Sherratt Weber that second pairing. And I think they can do that job of being that very physical, blah, 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 that stuff, right? You got your first pairing puck mover, stay-at-home guy, also physical, going to bang bodies. Second pairing is two physical guys. On a good night, they can give you some good plays. And then your third pairing is Kulak Romanov. And I think you can get really good mileage out of that setup for me. It's playoffs. You need that physical play. Now that
you do.
Having Sherratt and Weber together. yeah, having Sherratt and Weber together isn't as much of as a detriment in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, it can turn into an asset.
As long as they move their feet.
Depending on how they play, right? Depending on how they play, right? If they don't make those
the whole team, actually, you know what? The whole team needs to skate for their life.
Yep. That energy. They got to have that energy all the way through.
And I'm hoping Gallagher brings it.
Yeah, I think it'll help having Gallagher there for that.
You know, I got two 16-year-old daughters, and they're the ones that are saying it. Gallagher needs to be back on the team. He's the spark plug for the team. And
Romanov not on the top there. All right, because we're going to be running out of time. Last question I want to ask before we get into our predictions. The initial practice lineup, which I'm going to put up right now, is this. The initial practice lineup has KK and Caulfield on the sidelines.
That hurts.
To anybody's surprise, really? No. What's your opinion on that? And today, Ducharme, after this being the case, later in the afternoon, Ducharme said, lineup isn't necessarily set yet. Could change as soon as tomorrow. So, let me just read it out, and then we'll get our opinion. So, we got Tatar, Gallagher, Toffoli, Suzuki, Armia. So, Armia back on the second line. Perry, Stahl, Anderson, Byron, Evans, Lehkonen. And then on the fifth line, looking out, is Frolik, which is understandable. KK and Caulfield. I don't know. Edmondson, Petrie, Kulak, Sherratt, Romanov, Gustafsson. Gustafsson's in there because Weber is still out. He should be back any day now. And then Price Allen. Price should be ready. No problem. But Caulfield's sitting on the outside. I don't know what to think about that personally. I don't understand it. Considering that he's got 4 goals in his first 10 games, hasn't looked overmatched, hasn't looked out of his element. If anything, he's looked more comfortable every game that he's played. I don't understand this for a team that needs offense. I don't get it. They seem to be still relying on veterans. We're going to go with our veterans. Even if we can't score a fucking goal, we're going to go with our veterans because that's how we're going to lose? I mean, I don't get it. So
what the fuck is Anderson doing with Stahl and Perry?
Yeah. What's your opinion?
Got 2 guys that can't do 15 kilometers an hour on the ice with a player that does 25 kilometers an hour plus on the ice. Yeah. What the hell is that?
Well, they want him to scout it. I think Anderson is the scout, right? He's going to get there the day before, make sure things are open, and by the next day, these guys are going to catch up to him. Like, I don't know. The only thing I will say on this is, it's 5 days before the actual game. It doesn't mean that it's written in stone.
It's got to be a smoke screen.
But this is not a good optic. Like, something is either up or we're just overreacting because it's, there's still 5 days left. But I don't know. I just really don't get what's going on exactly. Devin says, and this is a good KK played good in the if you're not happy with him, he played really good in the playoffs last year. Who's to say that doesn't happen? Give him the shot. Why are you sitting him out? And I don't get it with Caulfield. Team that needs offense. Okay, well, Shamir.
I mean, it's all the ruse, remember, in the comments. There are some comments, all of this bad play versus Toronto. Right. It's all the ruse. It's all an illusion.
It's an illusion to lull the Leafs into a sense of confidence.
That's it.
They'll come out and take us lightly.
That is it.
That's what's happening.
But yeah, it's just, I just hope that there's more tinkering to the lines between when those lines were released and by the time the puck drops on Thursday.
Yeah. Peter?
Yeah, vanilla offense. That's all I got to say to that one. It's just, smoke screen. Got to be a smoke screen. I can't believe that he's going to have those line pairings the way he's got them written out there.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Those are line pairings for a fail for sure.
And this is okay. That's a good point. You said that because people are saying, well, he's trying to save his job. How? How are you saving your job with that? How? I don't
You're not
get
going to save
how
your
that.
job if you play Caulfield and Kotkaniemi. That's playing for your job.
That's right, exactly.
You know,
and
that's playing for your job. If you start playing guys like Perry and Frolik and
no, Perry, I'm good with. Perry actually.
Well, yeah, Perry, I'm good with too. But I don't like that. I really don't like that line.
No, Stahl's got to be out of there. Stahl's got to be out of there. So what?
What does Stahl do? He hasn't even won a face-off yet.
We're reneging on our promise. Go sit. You don't want. Don't come back next year. I'm okay with that. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not playing him.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, his contract will be up anyway, so we don't really have to resign him.
And he's not coming back.
Exactly.
Right? He's not coming back.
Let him leave in a huff.
Anyways, I don't know. I'm going to be patient in that for the next couple of days. Let's see if he still juggles in practice, and sort of he may just be starting out with that. Let's see for a couple of days. He wants to see different combos, to see if he wants to make changes or what lines he wants to. Like, I'm okay with that. But if it's Wednesday and these are the practice lines, I'm not happy. I'm going to be frustrated as hell. And I don't see how
where I'd expect Jeff Molson to step in and say, "What the hell are you guys doing here?"
Yeah, I don't see how he saves his job with that lineup going against the Leafs in game one. I don't see it. Why not just put Primo in net then? Just
save Price for next year.
Yep. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, so time for our predictions. Who's going to lead off? Raise your hands if you want to go first. Okay, I'll go first. Okay. I think it's actually very simple for me. If Montreal is going to win this series, they have to play, first of all and foremost, and I think it's the number one most often used key to victory that I used in my previews all season was play a 60 fucking minute game. Let's start with that. And let's add to that, come out with some freaking energy and maintain that all game. That would be nice. Yeah, and how about a good power play? Nice power. I'm not going to get on the PK because the PK more games than not is actually good.
50-50 PK.
I think it's a little more than that. So the PK's been pretty good lately too. So I'm not going to hit on them. So let's do that. Let's make Matthews' life miserable. Let's make him say to himself, "Oh, man, Arizona would be really nice. Maybe I'll go there."
It's a good retirement place, too.
I think we should do that. And, why not taunt him and shit? Make him miserable. Tell him what you think about that time in the parking lot with that female security guard. Tell him what you think about that on the ice. Bug him like that. You get next to him, bump him. Make Matthews' life miserable. And just play with some urgency because you want to win this series, you're going to have to be urgent about it. Although I still think it's going to be 7 games, but I think every game you got to play with that. That's all I got right now. What do you guys think? Predictions. Yeah, Montreal wins. It'll take 7 games. I can't see it being less than 7. Toronto could win anywhere from 4 games to 6 games, but I think if Toronto wins, it's going to be 4 or 5. That's what I'm afraid of. So that's where I'm at. What do you guys? Who's next?
It's going to be a grinded out series, and could go either way. But if I had a gun to my head, I would say Habs in 7.
I think Montreal comes out, plays one shift at a time. Don't look too far ahead. Just one shift at a time. Give it your all every shift. I wish I had a player like Knuckles Nyland, one of my all-time favorite Habs.
Yeah.
Because I know he would get under the skin of every player on Toronto, not just Matthews.
Yeah. Perry. That's one thing Perry can do, right?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Perry does what he did in Dallas.
The Worm. He's called the Worm for a reason.
Exactly.
Right?
He likes to sit down at the end of the bench.
Yeah.
So
Gallagher is supposed to do that too.
Gallagher. And Anderson. We got some good.
We got some boys that can talk, but nobody talks like Nyland and Tikkanen. They were probably the nastiest guys on the ice ever.
Tikkanen was horrible. He was horrible. He was such a chirper.
Oh yeah. You couldn't understand a word he said.
Yeah.
But if Price stands on his head, if everything is golden for us, you guys are going to shit on me, but I could see Montreal doing it in 6 if everything's golden.
Yeah, it's going to have to be golden.
If we have more than 2-3 mistakes per game, Toronto in 5, Toronto in 4.
Yeah.
We have to stay out of the box, and we can't have any mental errors. Like I said, got to be one shift at a time.
Yeah, keep the mistakes at a minimum. I mean, and stay out of the box because even though the power plays are close, I wouldn't guarantee that going into the playoffs, right?
Right.
Toronto's got potential to have a really good power play. Potential. I'm not saying they are. They haven't been great lately, but stay out of the box. And
we can play that. We can stick with them if we stay out of the box.
And we play a 60-minute game with energy. Energy.
Gotta skate. They're moving their feet. We got to move ours.
Yeah.
And we can stick with anybody.
After a week off now, we're going to have a week in between games. There's no excuse now for they're tired. There may still be some lingering injuries, but, I mean, nothing should be too serious. And so there's no excuses that way. It's a new season.
Yep.
And
you're playing for the cup now. Now it's all about playing for the cup. So there is no effing excuses, period.
No, you can't take a shift off.
And
we gotta get not even a fucking second off.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, these guys have got to go into the mindset that we need to get Carey a cup.
Yep.
He's won everywhere else.
Yep. And
please get this guy a cup.
And Carey needs to be in that mindset too. I'm sure he was in that mindset going into the RT.
His heart's there.
Yep.
His heart's there.
Oh, he's healthy.
It's just I've seen some footage where he's walking off the ice and it breaks my heart. You can tell he's lost faith in his defense at times. They're not standing up for him. I just want everybody to just do the big. It's for Carey. Let's do this for Carey.
Jason, I don't think we're expecting them to be all-stars. I mean, I'm not. I'm kind of saying they got to play. Montreal's game is kind of more well-balanced, scoring from all the lines. It's not about stars. That's the problem with Montreal, is that we don't have that offensive caliber of player. And that's the problem. So unless guys listen, Nick Suzuki can step up and do that. He stepped up last playoffs. He stepped up when he was in the OHL and won. He steps up at this time of year. Yeah. We have potential, but we don't have anybody like they've got. That's without a doubt. So am I expecting them to be all-stars? No. I'm just expecting them to work hard, and from that hard work, that they're that type of a team that needs to work hard like that, and good things happen.
Precisely.
Work like that. That's what I think. Let's see what we got out here. A couple more minutes, and then we are done. Hart wins this series. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Habs haven't showed it all year. It's a new season, buddy. It is a new season. They got a week off to show that they've got heart. They've got a week for the coaching staff to instill, some practices and their system that they want to get in place. So we may actually see a bit of a different look to the Habs. And we may not. I mean, I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for. That's the best I can say at this point. All right. It's time for us to go. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Roger, and I'm not sure if it was Roger for both or Roger was one of the donations, and if it was someone else, I apologize that I don't remember who it was. That's Kyle Dubas's fault. I just want you to know that. And I want to thank everybody who was here and watching and is still here. Please give a thumbs up before you leave if you liked it. And subscribe and ring the notifications bell if you haven't done that yet. And you'll get more of these on a weekly basis and all kinds of other Habs videos and games and all kinds of stuff. So hopefully you'll do that. And on behalf of these fine gentlemen that you see in front of you, Peter and Shamir, I want to thank you guys, really everybody, for being here. You want to say goodbye, guys? Shamir, you go first.
Goodbye. And it was Andrew there in the comments. He's pointing out he was the other dono.
Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. You're right.
Goodbye, everybody. It was nice to be a part of this chat. I really enjoyed it. Hope to be a part of some more chats in the future. And,
yes, definitely, absolutely.
I will get on that dono train. By the way, I'm a lazy ass. I haven't.
Don't worry about it. No worries. You're on the panel. All right, so we'll be back. Some semblance of all of us will be back next week for another panel show, and it'll probably be on obviously how the Habs did opening up the playoffs. So I want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. And stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.